Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. Alright folks, here we are just after market close on Thursday, August 3rd. We're going to take a look at MULN today. The chart holding up really well. We're going to flip over to the data and we'll come back to the chart, but I just want to mention the chart that we put in the last video held up really well today. You see 1723 getting put in as the level and it topped out at 1725 today. So, I mean, a fraction of a penny off of the level that we charted. Really great. And also that 1352 level that you see where it built the 4 and where it sort of ended the day, also just coming in very strong. So really happy with how the chart's holding up. But if we do continue to push higher, I think we need some additional levels above 1723 level. So we'll come back and do that momentarily. In the meantime, we're going to flip over to Market Beat, take a look at some info that exists here. Now, let's start with the short interest, and then we'll come back to some of the other stuff. So 11.94% of the float being shorted, double digits considered high. So it's on the lower side of high, but certainly some short pressure being put on the stock. But it's quite a drop off from where it has been recently. I mean, it was all the way up at 66 million here back in the beginning of the year, and now 12 million today. So it's quite a big disparity there. Now it has gone up quite a bit. This is as of 7/15. This comes out every 2 weeks, so I'm expecting any day we get the 7/31 report data. So looking for that, but I mean, this is quite a huge change from the previous report. Percentage of the float was all the way down to 5.6, and then we see this big jump up. So we'll see sort of what happens here, but that's kind of putting certainly some pressure on it. Now, the tab that I did have open, this insider trades, also probably putting some pressure on. 4 insiders selling a little over $5 million the last 12 months, only 1 insider buying just shy of 45,000. But here's the thing, is current insider ownership percentage is 77.4. So, that's going to put some pressure on, so it seems. Oh boy. Oh, wow. Okay, so institutional ownership, 42 buys and just 3 sells the last 12 months. So, even though the stock is where it is, it's interesting to see that. 675 million coming in buys, just shy of 19 million in sells. So, to the degree to which that could help stabilize the price, what have you, that could help. But obviously it's in quite a lower stage of its price potential at the moment. Is that a certain way to put that? So yeah, institutional ownership and the short interest. Now, if we look at at iBorrowDesk, so this comes from Interactive Brokers. Their fee to borrow to short MULN right now is 6.2%. So, not nothing, but not that incredibly persuasive to sort of like ward off short sellers. But we look at today's data and there was no movement in the 10 million shares that they had available to borrow. No one really did anything. So either the feed is broken, but historically that would appear as though it would just skip time frames and you just wouldn't see them at all. So I'm apt to believe that the feed is working, but yeah, maybe there isn't a lot of short selling coming in. I was sort of curious, with the uptick today, if there would be a pile on at some point in the day of shorts coming in saying, oh, MULN is up double-digit percentage. Maybe it's time to short it. But also, I mean, maybe it's just low cost enough that it's not that interesting to them. Failed to deliver data, which you could pause it and just read this if you're unfamiliar with what failed to deliver is. But some decent upticks here. toward early to mid July, and certainly some huge ones here in June, but seemingly getting sorted out as July entered the middle of the month. Now, I don't know if the data is just very far behind or if there haven't been any issues since then, because if all shares were delivered on a particular day, then there will be no entry in the table. And keep in mind that these are cumulative. Our cumulative number of all fails outstanding until that day. Okay, so this isn't that there was 15 million this day and then 17 million this day. These are cumulative. So keep that in mind. So, nothing sort of like jumping out as being tremendously crazy to me here or on the borrow desk or here as it pertains to short interest. Like I said, about 12% is high because I consider double digits to be on the higher side and having some impact. But, we've seen double that or even more previously in other stocks. And, so that's just to say it can get tremendously higher than that. So that's my view on those things. Now, if we flip over, I can't zoom out to the daily and put in levels. Well, maybe I can. Let's see, how high are these? Okay, yeah, no, we can put some levels in on the daily, which is good news. So we have higher levels, but they are like way higher, like 2.5. That's where things really got obvious for levels. But since we are pushing our upper levels between here and there, let's put in what we can see. It says 1975-ish level seems obvious to me. See support, resistance, resistance, attempted support, resistance, resistance. So that's potentially a sticking point. I'm also wondering if there's something sort of here. You see the bottom? Maybe, but it's not convincing me enough to really like put a level in there. What is here as my computer is struggling? Okay, this level I would certainly say just shy of 23 cents. Looks to be a little bit of a sticking point. Is there something additionally here? Yeah, maybe also like at 22. Like maybe just that break over 20, and then what happens after that is just a little bit sticky for MULN. That's actually, doesn't seem that far away pennies wise, but percentage wise, that's quite a leap. So that's probably enough to put in now, just so we don't like clog up the chart and, put 100 levels between 19 cents up to $2.50. Like that just seems unwise at the moment. We can see so short interest here looking very similar. So this data seems to basically jive. Just one day to cover, which makes me think that there's just not a lot of activity at the moment. So sort of like an oddly high percentage for there to be seemingly such a little activity, but I don't know. Getting this data sometimes is more challenging and more sort of foggy than you would want it to be. So who knows the accuracy and veracity of these things, but that's where I see it as of today. So we'll see if we can get any push. We've got ourselves out from this downtrend line for the time being, at least. Can always re-enter. Quite a top wick here today, but it is sort of abiding by the levels. So we'll see what happens based on today's push, and if it is going to get a big pullback that's going to continue to push or go sideways. Don't forget, going sideways is always a possibility. All right, folks, I hope you had a good trading day and that you finish the week off strong tomorrow. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.